Tonight, we are looking closer at the history proposals to change your child's education.
Alex Littlehale separates fact from fiction from a newly proposed set of history documents under consideration by the State Board of Education. Some college educators say the attempts at change are misguided.
The facts of history aren't meant to be biased.
History does not have favorites. It is what it is.
But the way educators teach our past is presently up for debate. Last week, public speakers spent hours opposing recently introduced history standards to the state's Board of Education over an absence of notable historical figures from the initial documents, including Jackie Robinson, Pocahontas, and others. One of the concerns raised is this particular line, which says teachers shouldn't teach in a way that, quote, ascribes guilt.
You shouldn't take a personal ownership of history in that way when you're studying the past, in part because you didn't live in the past.
But according to Dr. Cassandra Newby-Alexander, a dean and history professor at Norfolk State University, learning history isn't meant to produce guilt. She called the newly written standards troubling, pointing to language that she says makes it harder for teachers to teach.
Really says is that teachers cannot teach real history. They cannot teach history honestly. They cannot teach history in a balanced way for fear that somebody in their class will say, oh, well, you're making me feel guilty.
She says the standards are written in a way to make people feel better about their past. One example is pointing to the added number of times the word patriotism appears in the new standards, 12 times compared to just 6 in 2015. Reporting, Alex Littlehales for 13 News Now.
Governor Glenn Youngkin admitted last week he is, quote, not pleased with the new history standards and that they do not reflect his directives.